Did you ever have one of these? I used to have a green translucent Dreamcast controller with a matching green translucent VMU. This was like my favorite controller ever. This was a controller that I always picked when I would play my brothers. This represents the golden age of my gaming back in the day. And it's crazy how like today, these translucent clear cases for controllers and video game consoles is actually really popular, and there's a lot of companies out there putting out a lot of these products. Back in the middle of July, a company called ExtremeRate reached out to me asking if I would like to do a collab with them. And at first I was like, I don't know who this company is. I've had other companies in the past reach out to me with all these weird kinds of products that don't even relate to photography or gaming. So I did a little research to figure out who this company was, and come to find out they are a gaming accessory company. They are based in China, but they develop their own like custom controller remaps. They create their own joysticks and buttons and shell mods and protectors. They even produce their own repair parts, and they make all these products for all like the major video game consoles, handhelds. They even got retro gaming covered. They offered me a full Steam Deck shell kit with matching buttons. I just had to pick the color I wanted. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to do this, but do you want to collab with me on a giveaway? They agreed. So if you'd like to learn more about this giveaway, then fast forward this video, go all the way to the end, and you'll get to all the giveaway information. But if you want to know about my experience swapping the Steam Deck shell, then keep watching. This is the emerald green Steam Deck shell replacement from ExtremeRate. Thank you to everyone who voted on my YouTube poll. It was between this emerald green, atomic purple, matcha green, and a matte pink. The emerald green kit retails for $34.99, and they also put in there a button replacement package for me that retails for about $18.99. So as you can see, it's pretty translucent. You can see all the innards of the Steam Deck. Let me flip it around for you. There is the back. You can see the big old battery back here. You can see this is where the fan is, the heat sink. This is where the chip and the motherboard are. These are where the speakers are. Then we got all the button triggers, the paddles here. So from top to bottom, it's this really, really cool icy emerald green. It totally reminds me of that translucent blue that you'll find on the Nintendo 64. And I felt like this totally fits with the color scheme of the Light Den Academy. So I'm really glad that emerald green won the poll. So thank you guys again for voting. Upon my initial reaction opening up the shell and getting my hands on it, it feels very smooth, very slippery. For those who have the OG shell, there is a bit of texture to it, and I really, really like that. This smooth shell isn't bad, and I think I'm gonna get used to it. I did end up keeping the original buttons and triggers though. As you can see, it's got a nice contrast to it, this nice black contrast here, with the little 3-dot button here, and then the Steam button there. I kept the buttons up top, the volume rockers, and then the power button, and of course the triggers there at the top, the bumper. I tried to replace the paddles, but the original case, the original shell, they're grommeted in, so I didn't want to break anything or destroy anything trying to remove them. So I just stuck with the paddles that they came with, the translucent blue ones. In terms of durability and quality, I feel like it's on par with the Steam Deck cover, the original shell. You know, I had this for over a year now, and it lasted really well. It's you know, got no major damage or anything like that. I did have it in a cover for most of the time, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. So we'll see after a year how well this replacement shell is gonna hold up. The original Steam Deck cover wasn't bad, all right? The dark gray is good enough, but it was kind of boring, which is why I went with the D-brand skin. I got this really cool green camo skin, but it was pretty frustrating to put together. And if you do have one of these skins, you'll agree with me that because the skin raises up the surface level of the Steam Deck, all the little edges and stuff kind of gets caught on your fingers as you're, you know, rubbing your hand over your Steam Deck. Whereas getting a shell replacement, you know, you get the cool outward look and you don't have all those annoying edges that your hands are getting caught on, and you're not feeling like you're ripping off the skin from dbrand, which I constantly felt like I was ripping off the skin. That's why I just put my Steam Deck in a case and, you know, just played it using that. Now, the biggest drawback to this shell replacement is the process in which you need to do it. You have to fully disassemble the Steam Deck console and then rebuild it in the new shell. I spent weeks just looking up people's experiences doing this process, and the average time it took was about 3 hours, guys. 3 hours. And for those who are used to doing this kind of modding stuff, about like an hour and a half. So it was gonna take a good chunk of your time in order to replace the shell on your Steam Deck. Thankfully, ExtremeRate provides a very in-depth and thorough installation guide on the YouTube channel. I'll put the link below and you guys can check it out. You can actually watch my most recent live stream where I swapped the Steam Deck shells on stream. You can see all my frustrations, all my questions, all my double checking, triple checking, all the good stuff there. If you want, go check out that video. The ExtremeRate installation guide video itself is about an hour and 16 minutes, where it took me about an hour and 40 minutes just to disassemble everything. I appreciate that ExtremeRate includes everything that you need to do this disassembly. They're gonna give you 2 different screwdrivers for different types of screws. They're gonna give you a spudger. They're also gonna give you a metal pick and a suction cup. Where is that? Yeah, the suction cup in here. They're gonna give you all the adhesives, everything that you need to disassemble everything and put things together. Gonna give you the buttons, everything. The only other tool that you're gonna need is a heat gun or a hair dryer, which is what I use, in order just to heat up the adhesive so it's easier to remove the components and things like that. I had a somewhat organized desk operation going. I had 2 clear plastic bins. One bin I housed all of like the new parts and things, and then the second bin, that's where I put all of my screws. They weren't compartmentalized. There was just like this little groove around the base of it, and I would put like, okay, the screws for the left trigger side on the left side, the screws for the middle center are at the middle center, the screws for the screen and the center stuff is in the center. So that's how I organized everything. And then I had a little section on my desk where I put each component as I removed it. So I basically built like a little Steam Deck up in my little corner just to see where everything came from, so that when it came time to assemble everything, it was just pretty easy to figure out like what went where. Putting my Steam Deck back together felt like it was easier than the disassembling, but it actually took me about 3 hours and 40 minutes to do it. And I don't know why. Maybe it was because I was like going to the restroom, I was like getting water, I was like going out to let my wife and kids know I'm still alive. There was a part where I'll talk about real soon that was really frustrating, and it took me almost an hour to figure out how to do. So the assembly definitely took a little bit longer than the disassembly, but I've got 4 little tips to give you guys if you're gonna take on this challenge. Number 1, it's not a race, okay? I found myself so many times as I was watching the video, I found myself feeling like I was racing the guy, trying to unscrew everything, trying to take things off, trying to disconnect ribbons. I was like, wait. I'm not trying to race this guy. I'm just chilling. You know, I got my lo-fi music on. I got peeps in the chat. Like, I'm just trying to cruise and vibe with this moment. You know, just relax, okay? Keep track of every single screw. Observe how everything goes, and everything will go fine for you if you just relax, realize that this is not a race. Number 2, be careful with the screen, okay? There's a top comment pinned to ExtremeRate's installation guide, and this guy talks about his experience damaging the ribbon under his screen because he stuck this metal pokey little pick too far underneath the screen trying to scrape off the adhesive when he's lifting off the screen. Get a plastic guitar pick, okay? I had a little yellow guitar pick. It's 0.73 millimeters. That worked perfectly fine for my needs, okay? This little thing is gonna scratch the edges of your screen. I saw a lot of people commenting that it was like scratching the underside of the screen, and they had to put like black nail polish and things like that. So don't use this, okay? It comes with it, but don't use it. I just used one little guitar pick, and that was enough for me. Plus, this suction cup. I saw people saying that they bought like a different suction cup, yada yada. This was fine for me. So number 3, you're gonna need tweezers, okay? If you're like me and you got like bigger fingers, I got like freaking toe thumbs, okay? It's a little difficult to get those ribbons in and out and the clips up and down. I just cut my fingernails too, so I don't have anything to like really give me leverage. Get some tweezers, okay? That's gonna help you in the long run, taking out the ribbons and putting that back in and setting the clips. And the 4th tip from me, you guys, heat up the TouchPads, okay? When you get to the point where you're doing the TouchPads, you need to heat them up, all right? In the video at about 47, 46, they failed to mention that these touchpad covers are stuck by adhesion. He just takes his little spudger, sticks it into the side and just pops it right out. And I'm like, wow, that was easy. I tried to do it. Nope. My spudger actually broke and I had to use my little replacement kit that ExtremeRate sent me. I had to use that new spudger, get it in there. And I'm like, oh, I hear this crackling sound. Oh, that's adhesive. So I grabbed my hair dryer and I started heating it up, and surely it came off after about almost an hour fiddling with the first one. It took me like 2 minutes, maybe less, for the second one. So heat up those touchpads, get that adhesion off, all right? So as I clicked on the back cover of my Steam Deck, I was super excited to turn it on to see if I was successful in my whole shell swap. And I pushed the power button and surely it turned on. I popped confetti. Everything was going crazy. The crowd was going wild. The confetti was going. But as soon as it went to the library and I started going around the library, making sure my buttons were working, the direction pads were working, the touchscreen was working, I found that my speaker was hissing and crackling at like loud sounds. And I'm like, what the heck? Shoot, no. And so I tested my Steam Deck with different sounds, different games, going on YouTube, listening to music. And sure enough, I found that this speaker right here on the left side, when you're looking at it, was hissing and crackling. I plugged in my headphones. Headphones were perfectly fine. I connected my Bluetooth earbuds. Those are totally fine. So I deduced that it definitely was a speaker sound, not really like an audio issue. Maybe the speakers are damaged or the wires are damaged. So I had to put my deck down, open up the back cover, pop it off. I didn't have to undo everything, but I just did enough just to be able to get back to that speaker connection. So what I did is I ended up pulling the wire out of the little hooks, little grooves, and I followed it really closely, and I found there was like a little indent in the middle of the wires, like a fingernail indent, and nothing was cut or sliced. It was just like indented, and there's like 2 little slight bulges on each end of the indent. So I'm thinking, as I was trying to stuff the wire in the hooks, I think maybe something got severed, because as I was like kind of crunching it there and kind of putting it together, I could hear the sound going in and out on that speaker. And so I tried looking up solutions on the internet, and it eventually brought me to the ifixit.com website. And so I just resigned to having to buy replacement speakers. They've got them for $24.99. Now, the replacement speakers that they have only work with the older models of the Steam Deck, which is what I have. You'll find that if your fan has square edges, then you have an older model. If it's like round, like curved, then you have a later model. So I got those speakers coming. I'm sure that's going to be another video, just replacing the speakers. Hopefully that it works. Yeah, that was the only hiccup I had during this whole process of doing the shell swap. So you got to be careful. Take your time, replace everything as it was, and be gentle with the fragile components on the motherboard. Be fragile, treat the fragile wires carefully, and put them back where they need to be. So this experience was enlightening. Before today, I had no idea what was going on inside my Steam Deck. I had no idea where things were. I didn't know where the SSD card was. And having to open this up and to go through it all, learning how to do it, I feel way more confident now if in the future I decide to replace my SSD, or if I want to change out my joysticks, or if I need to repair something. I feel way more confident than where I was before I started this whole process. Overall, I felt like the shell replacement was worth it. Like I said, it's like taking a grand tour through the Steam Deck, seeing where everything is and what pretty much like everything does, while also upgrading the appearance of your deck. And not only that, but I feel like if these shells were out when the Steam Deck was released, I probably would have got that instead of this skin. You know, this D brand skin is like the deluxe set, comes with like the top skin, the back, the front, and everything. It was $44.99, whereas the shell kit is $34.99. So you're saving yourself about $9 going with the shell replacement kit versus, you know, this. And it's not easy to put the skin on, okay? It took a good while to get the skin on and everything like that too. You can watch that video as well. Thank you ExtremeRate for reaching out to me for this collab, giving me the opportunity to review one of your shell products. Although I did have some difficulties towards the end, it wasn't your fault, it was my fault. I would definitely do this again, and I actually had a blast disassembling and reassembling my Steam Deck. If you've got at least 3 hours and you want to upgrade your deck's experience, I highly encourage you to go check out ExtremeRate's website. They've got 16 different colors with matching colored buttons. You can do a mix match of the buttons in the shell, however you want to do it, but definitely go check them out. Real quick, let's talk about the giveaway. Starting today, August 4th, 2023, you have 3 weeks to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment down below this exact phrase. Are you ready? I want that atomic purple ! All right, you need to comment that down below if you want to be entered for the giveaway. Now, the giveaway is for an atomic purple shell replacement kit with matching buttons, and I'm going to draw the winner during my live stream on August 25th at the end of this month. And all the names are going to come from the comments, okay? So make sure that you comment down below, otherwise you're not getting on that big wheel. All right, we're going to spin the wheel, we're going to pick a winner, and once we receive that winner, I'll reach out to you and I'll get your email and I'll send it to ExtremeRate. They'll contact you and send you the shell directly from their warehouse. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to this channel. If you want more Steam Deck / gaming / photography type of stuff in your feed, if you would like to support me, I would love to have you as a member of this channel. I've got a $2 tier, a $5 tier, and a $25 tier. Depending on how much you want to support me, you're going to get sub badges, you're going to get emotes, and you're going to get instant access to any bonus content, bonus videos that I've got on this channel, which I do, which is mainly for the Strategy Guide Chronicles series I've got going on, which I've got plenty more videos of that coming down the pipeline. But any other bonus content, members only live streams, members only posts, you guys will get it if you want to become a member to this channel. I greatly appreciate it. I also want to invite you all to my live streams. I stream on YouTube Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays starting at 8 AM Hawaiian Standard Time. But we do everything related to photography, gaming. I love to game on stream, and it's just a cool time to vibe and hang out and chill and stuff. So please come hang out with us. Please check us out and make sure you show some love to my channel. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. Have a good night. Aloha.